all the way up to current. This is listed as the ninth of the 100 all-time greatest songs. This comes in at number 9 on Billboard charts. Debby Boone is on the line right now. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
That's a pretty great accomplishment.
It surprises me whenever I hear anything like that. It almost doesn't feel real.
Well, it's funny because because the way this whole thing kind of went down. So there was a movie, and maybe you can talk a little bit about. There was a movie, and tell me if I have any of this wrong. And somebody else sang it in the movie, and then there was a record company out there that said, "Boy, we'd like you to give this a try." And they took the movie track, so it was almost, I don't want to say karaoke, but you sang to the track, and they released it, and it took off. Is that do I have it right?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. There was an actress in the movie, and there was another voice that was dubbed in for her singing. So Dee Khan played the part in the movie You Light Up My Life, and a singer named Casey Cizik sang the vocal for the movie. But Casey had a falling out with the guy that wrote the song, Joe Brooks, and he wanted to release a single, but he did not want to release it with her vocal.
Oh, that is, wow.
And the soundtrack was on the same company, Warner Curb Records, that I was recording for with my family, the Pat Boone family, and my sisters. So Mike had been wanting me to do songs on my own for quite some time, and that was the first one that I said yes to.
You were, I mean, that just exploded. Your career just exploded there. I mean, you were like Best New Artist of the Year. The song was 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard charts. I mean, it was, and I told a story yesterday that my father, who I never knew other than Puff the Magic Dragon, I don't know that my father had any interest in music at all, but we got my father the 45. I bought it at Mr. C's Music in Herkimer. Bought him You Light Up My Life, the 45, for Christmas because he was such a huge fan of your song.
Aw, I love stories like that. That's fantastic.
So you're now, this is kind of a unique performance that you're doing over here. Very unique in that you're doing it. I hate to say, there she is, Madison Square Garden, and she's live at Boscov's. And, but you're there the whole week. This is the most unique store, and it's the most unique concept. And it's funny because I'm hearing people come back, and they're saying, you got to go see the show. It's unbelievable.
Oh, yay. I'm so glad about that. You know, it really is one of the strangest opportunities that has come my way. I've never done anything like this, and I probably will never do anything like this again unless they open another Boscov's and ask me to do it.
Right.
But, yeah, I was ambivalent when I heard about it, and then, you know, they kind of explained how it was all going to work. And I got to tell you, I'm so impressed that they're able to go in and take these stores and reopen and provide jobs and provide a really beautiful store, by the way. It's really a gorgeous department store with fantastic deals and wonderful shopping, and who doesn't like that?
Yeah. And it is a unique experience. It's kind of crazy, but it's working, and people seem to love it. Yeah. And I mean, I've never gone shopping and gone, I'm going to go in and see a show. Take a load off and see a show. So that's the strange part about it. But they've provided this, you know, prime real estate. You know, it's retail space for this very thing that they do. And I've got some great musicians, and we're putting on a good show in there 2 times a day. And the people have been fantastic, so nice coming up afterwards. I'm meeting a lot of great people who are being so wonderfully welcoming and responsive to the music that we're doing, and I'm just loving it. And I would ask you, do you, when this opportunity came up, do you consult your family and it's like, hey, I've got this opportunity. I'm not really sure about this, but what do you think?
Yeah, well, it's really my husband and myself these days at home. My kids are all raised, and I no longer have to ask my dad.
Yeah. You're past that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it just seemed like an interesting opportunity, and it also, speaking of my dad, was not that far off from a date I already had on the books to do every once in a while concert that I do with my dad. I'm headed to Illinois as soon as I leave from here to do a concert with him. So
wow, that's awesome. He's still performing at, I believe I did the calculation right, like 84 years old, right?
You're a little off, 82.
82, and he's still, but my math was never good. But he's still performing.
He's still performing. Yeah, he's amazing. He's still playing tennis and going strong. So looks great.
Debbie, how does this work? Every night at like 6:30, you take the stage? Are you on and off all day? Right? How does this work?
It's a 2:00 show and a 7:00 show.
Okay.
So every day through Saturday. And, they usher me in through the department store, a little back route, and I get to a little dressing room area, and then I walk out, and there are all these happy shoppers.
It's funny. The dressing room is the dressing room, and wardrobe, of course, you could buy anything you want there. They have everything.
Yeah. I haven't had the opportunity to take advantage of the store and all the great deals, but I'm traveling with the most wonderful musical director, John Otto, and while I'm signing CDs after the show, he's out shopping, and every time we go back to the hotel, our car is loaded with his bags.
That's funny.
That's something. So now on the song You Light It, which is, I hate to keep coming back to that one song, but that's the one that was so enormous. So in the movie, the storyline was a little different. They said it was about a person, You Light Up My Life. But there was a Simpsons episode that featured the song that revealed that it was more about this was more about religion for you.
Well, I had a private interpretation when I first heard the song. It felt like the lyric was so open that it felt a little bit like a prayer to me.
Yeah.
And so privately, never imagining that anyone was going to ask me the question, so I didn't have any kind of agenda. But then it became a hit, which was a complete shock to me. I thought this was the beginning of the long, hard climb story, not, the peak. So that was just my private interpretation. It just worked that way for me. And then it became this huge hit, and people started saying, do you have a boyfriend? Who are you singing to? And that came out. I really have. I've sung it a lot of different ways, but originally in the studio that day, I sang it like a prayer.
And it just it took off. Big.
Yes, it did.
Like nobody ever expected in the world. I mean, it was. I want to ask you too about something without getting you into politics, because we can't talk politics today because everybody gets fighting. But I have to tell you, there is a first here, and women in music. I grew up in radio. I started working in radio at a small radio station in 1981. And at that time, I remember getting the lessons and the rules. And the rules were you'd never lead off the hour, ever, with a female artist, because people just don't like female artists. You would never, ever play two female artists back-to-back, and you had to be very careful that there are only so many female artists could be played per hour. And you had a song that was a country song, and you were a part of a first back, I don't even know what year it was. It might have been maybe in the early 1980s or late 70s. But the top 5 on the country charts, Billboard country charts, all of them were females. You were at number 3 with "Are You on the Road to Loving Me Again?" That was a big moment for women.
I haven't heard that statistic in a while, and I'm loving that you're bringing that up. But yeah, that is a really proud moment for those of us that were part of that. And I'm not really sure how to explain why there was a change, but I think there was this faulty assumption that, that it was really young girls who were buying all the records and listening to the songs. And, I guess girls are more young girls are more apt to have crushes and really put their dollars there. So that kind of made sense, but it was a wonderful breakthrough to have 5 women topping the charts and turning things around. so that there was much more of a receptivity to the programmers to have female recording artists.
And there you were. I mean, you're being at number one with You Light Up My Life, number one for 10 weeks in a row, I think was a number one record, was a record, if you will.
Yes.
Back then, that was something that had never been done before.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I believe that record was broken by Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it. All right. Well, listen, it's and you know, I wonder though, did you have it a little bit better in the music industry because you were with your dad and your family, so you had your dad, a male figure in the business, to really protect you and guide you at that time?
Well, yes. It all happened so fast and so unexpectedly. It's not like I had been out there beating down doors and trying to break into show business. I had been part of a family act and never had experience out there on my own. So I chose, for the first year of the success of You Light Up My Life, to hit the road with my dad because I just really felt like I didn't have the experience to go out there and do a show and be out there on my own. And that year sort of helped me find my sea legs. And then I was officially out on my own, developing my own career.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a really great opportunity for me to, and I did learn a lot from my dad and what he had learned over the years.
And for me, and when I was growing, I was younger, graduated in 1982, so I didn't know you had a dad that was Pat Boone, and I had no idea you were just Debby Boone. So our generation just judged you on who you were, and there was no family involved. But listen, It is so awesome that you're doing this. It's the most unique thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure you feel the same way. But shows 2 o'clock. What did you say? 2 and 7.
2 and 7
every day through Saturday. At Boscov's over at Sangertown Square. And Debby Boone, it has been a real pleasure to talk to you. I appreciate you coming on this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Thanks so much. Get over there to Boscov's.
So this was a little before me, but I Googled Debby Boone, who is now 60, and freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like gorgeous.
Now you sound like Trump.
Oh, come on.
All I have to do is...
You know what I was thinking, though? Is like, sometimes you'll see a performer and they'll say, oh, tip your waitress and try the veal. She's like, 40% off kitchenware and buy one, get one thermals.
It's very, I got to give her credit for doing something like this because she doesn't have to. This is not like this woman has to work. It's really kind of, it's very cool. So anyway, you can get over there. It's at Boscov's in Sangertown Square, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And I've heard from people that have seen the show, and they're saying it is really awesome. And you would not even ever expect it. So
that's cool.
Check it out if you can before the weekend is up.